See the bright stars there?
Yeah?
It's called Sirius. It's the brightest star in the winter sky.
If you say so.
My teacher taught us about planets and stars.
I'm glad someone in our family's smart.
You're smart.
Not like you. You'll become a scientist or something. I'll just end up working in the mill like everybody else around here.
Grandma says every time there's a new family member, God puts a new star in the sky.
Don't you think that it would get just a little crowded up there?
There's always room for another star. Stars in the heavens, stars shining bright. Stars giving comfort, stars giving light. Stars in the darkest night, shining for me. Stars are my family. Stars guiding wise men, stars guiding ships at sea. Stars tell our stories, stars tell our history, showing us beauty and the forever shine. Stars shine so
Come on, it's freezing out here.
Good morning, beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm Nick Cummings, and this is radio station WMTC, signing on for another day of quality broadcasting. We're going out on 100 watts, so you should be able to hear us all the way over in Shelby. Our morning program is sponsored by Earl's Mercantile out on the county road. And remember, Earl's has everything you will ever need. And if he doesn't have it, he can probably get it for you in just a couple of weeks. Mayor Bobby Jones has announced a big town hall meeting for today and is inviting everybody to show up and hear what he has to say. Who knows, he might have something worth hearing. But I'm not holding my breath, and neither should you. Anyway, after the town hall meeting, you can head over to Alice's Cafe and get yourself a nice plate of country ham and grits and wash it down with Alice's extra, extra strong coffee. And since we're in the first week of December, it's time to start hearing some Christmas tunes. And in the studio this morning, we have one of my favorite old-timey bands all the way down from Kentucky for the big gospel sing over in Iredell County. And they're going to be singing one of my favorite old-timey Christmas songs. So, all the way down from Mousy, Kentucky, which is somewhere between Hazard and Pikeville, which is somewhere I've never been and somewhere I'm never going. We welcome the Filson family singers singing, "Children, Go Where I Send Thee." Enjoy.
Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee one by one. 'Cause one was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee two by two. Two was a Paul and Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee three by three. Three were the Hebrew children. Two was the Paul and Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee four by four. Four was the four that stood at the door. Three were the Hebrew children. Two was the Paul and Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee five by five. Five was the five that came out alive. Four was the four that stood at the door. Three were the Hebrew children. Two was Paul and Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee 6 by 6. 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that came out alive. 4 was the 4 that stood at the door. 3 were the Hebrew children. 2 was the Paul and Silas. 1 was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee 7 by 7. 7 was the 7 that didn't get to heaven. 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that came out alive. 4 was the 4 that stood at the door. 3 were the Hebrew children. 2 was the Paul and Silas. 1 was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee 8 by 8. 8 was the 8 that waited at the gate. 7 was the 7 that didn't get to heaven. 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that came out alive. 4 was the 4 that stood at the door. 3 were the Hebrew children. 2 was the Paul and Silas. 1 was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee 9 by 9. 9 was the 9 that stood in the line. 8 was the 8 that waited at the gate. 7 was the 7 that didn't get to heaven. 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that came out alive. 4 was the 4 that stood at the door. 3 was the Hebrew children. 2 was the Paul and Silas. 1 was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee 10 by 10. 10 was the 10 commandments. 9 was the 9 that stood in the line. 8 was the 8 that waited at the gate. 7 was the 7 that didn't get heaven. 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that came out alive. 4 was the 4 that stood at the door. 3 were the Hebrew children. 2 was the Paul and Silas. 1 was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children born in Bethlehem. Baby born in Bethlehem.
I, the Honorable Mayor of Bobby Jones, do hereby call this town hall meeting to order. Thank you all for showing up. It's a testimony to how much you care about our beautiful town.
Well, we showed up because we care about you not doing something dumb.
Thanks, Glenn. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Miss Gladys Binkley, our secretary, will be taking notes to make sure we record everything in the lectern for prosperity. I'm real glad you saw fit to elect me as your mayor. So, as my first official act as your mayor, well, I'd like to announce that I'll be running for re-election in 4 years.
Bobby, come on, let's get on with it, please.
Sure thing, Earl. The next item of business, after my big announcement about re-election, is about this town's finances. And the news is, well, we're coming up a little short this year.
We come up short every year.
Next, now I won on a platform of promoting fiscal responsibility.
You won because there were no opponents.
Don't write that down.
Write what down?
The next item on the agenda is the school, starting with the roof.
What's wrong with the school roof?
Well, it's got holes in it. It's leaking.
It shouldn't be leaking. It's practically brand new.
It's 50 years old, Earl.
Oh, well, then we should sue the people that built it.
Your granddaddy's construction company built it.
Oh. Well, a little rain won't hurt those kids.
We don't have a choice. We make the repairs and the state will shut down the school. Big chunks of the roof will fall on the students. So, my constituents, how about a little bond referendum to pay for this project?
No.
Well, how about a little property tax increase?
No.
Look, it's not leaking on any of us here, except those kids over there. What are those kids doing here anyway?
It's for their civics class. They have to attend a town hall meeting and write a report.
It sounds like some of you don't want to make any sacrifices for the good of the community.
We want to support our community, as long as it doesn't cost anything.
Okay, let's move on to our next item of business.
What's that, your impeachment?
No! Don't you dare write anything about impeachment in the minutes.
What?
Read me back the last thing you wrote.
Oh, okay. I, the Honorable Mayor Bobby Jones, would like to call this here town hall meeting to order.
And read the rest of it.
That's all I got. I'm not real fast with the shorthand.
Well, that's not helpful.
I think I heard something about being pinched.
Impeached.
Oh, could y'all start over?
No! Okay. Here's the next item of business. Earlier this year, we lost one of our town's most prominent citizens, Miss Arlene Pringle.
What made her more prominent than the rest of us?
But nobody ever saw her. She never even came out of her house.
Well, in her will, Miss Pringle left the town a sizable amount of funds. And I mean sizable. When that lawyer showed me the total amount, I just about lost my grits.
Bobby does love his grits.
That's right.
Now, there are some requirements attached to the disbursement of the funds. For instance, she specified that we should build a brand new school.
God bless Miss Pringle.
What a kind, caring soul.
She was a regular philanthropist, and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, but there's got to be a catch. What is it?
Well, she wants the school to be named after the late mother.
Wait, you mean?
We go from the Zachary Taylor Public School to the Peggy Parker Pringle Public School.
Wait, our football team is?
The Peggy Parker Pringle School Plundering Pirates.
We can't rename our school after her. It's named after Zachary Taylor, a great American patriot.
Yeah, a really great one. Did a lot of great stuff, and we can't go dishonoring him by naming our school after some crazy old woman's mother.
Just what did this great American patriot do, Glenn?
Well, he did some great stuff.
Yeah, probably some really great stuff.
Yeah.
Did he pay taxes here?
If he lived here, of course he pays taxes here.
He didn't pay taxes here, Glenn. He didn't live anywhere near here.
He was the 12th president of the United States.
Wow. Look, we just can't go on and change things. I mean, our town, our school is named after him.
Well, he was only president for 16 months. In 1850, our town took the name Zachary because there was already a town called Taylor in the state.
Thanks for that impromptu and unnecessary history lesson. Let's have the adults get on with the business.
You should have learned that from history class in the 7th grade. Zachary Taylor fought in the War of 1812, the Mexican-American
Oh,
War.
pipe down, kid.
Show off! Well, they don't know what they're talking about.
Kenny.
Huh. All right. Are we going to have to rename our town Peggy, Pringle, Parkerville? What do we have to name it?
Just the school.
Well, is there anything else we have to do for this crazy old woman before we get her money?
How rude.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't like change. I mean, they're talking about changing the name of our school, our town, and the Bible. I read they want to update the Bible. Well, that St. James Version's been around for 1,000 years, and there's no need for change.
It's the King James Version, and it's only been around since 1611. And King James was no saint.
Some of us have no manners.
Annie, that's enough. You're only here to observe.
There's another requirement in Miss Pringle's will.
What's that? She wants us to build a golf course? Name it after her cat?
No, Glenn. She wants the town to have an annual Christmas pageant.
What?
Yeah, a Christmas pageant. You know, Mary, Joseph, shepherds, angels. It has to be held on the town square every year. She wants live animals, and she wants all the children in the county to be invited to participate.
Well, why would she want us to have a Christmas pageant?
I think with all this depression nonsense the country's going through, she wanted to remind us of what's important. If a humble child born in a barn can become savior of the world, then we can make it through these hard times. She also wanted to give the kids a chance to tell the Christmas story, to do something positive for a change, instead of throwing rocks at her cat.
I was throwing rocks at my sister. The cat got in my way.
That doesn't make it better.
So we throw together this Christmas pageant and we get a new school?
And no lower taxes?
I think we should have the Christmas pageant and not include certain children.
You want to exclude the children from the Mill Village.
Well, they're not like our children.
Did Jesus exclude some children because they weren't like other children?
Goodness gracious, Esther, I'm not talking about Jesus, I'm talking about a Christmas pageant. It's bad enough that our children have to go to school with those hooligans. I don't want my daughter associating with the people who live over there.
And as her daughter, I don't want to associate with the kind of people that live over there. They're dirty and crude, and they steal everything they can get their hands on.
Well, what if they don't want to participate?
Well, that's their choice. We have to make the effort.
I'll direct it.
All right, so how many are in town, are in favor of a Christmas pageant with all the children?
And who's in favor of doing the Christmas pageant but not doing it with the Mill Village kids?
Well, it looks to me like a tie.
A tie? It wasn't even close.
Well, as mayor, I'll break the tie, and we'll have a Christmas pageant with all the children.
Well, you just ignored my call for a vote.
Jessica, you can't call for a vote. You're not the mayor.
Henry, what do you think?
You know, these people have had 7 years to deal with this depression thing. Nothing is working. You know, the stock prices, all of them are down. The GDP fell. Unemployment is over 20%. I think it's time to go back to President Hubert Heber.
You mean Herbert Hoover?
Thank you, Mr. McClendon. That's a very austere and irreverent observation. So I'll put her up for another vote. Taxes or a Christmas pageant?
Oh, Christmas pageant.
I agree. I think Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. McClendon should direct the Christmas pageants. You both have kids at the school.
I am completely against this idea.
Then I'll direct the pageant myself.
I can't let you do that, Esther. I'll help you, but I'm not taking any guff from those hooligans. What do you think?
I think that these labor unions are just ruining industry.
Well, maybe if you paid your workers enough.
Annie, don't go there.
Glenn, you and Earl will be in charge of rounding up all the live animals.
What? I think not.
Where are we going to find these animals?
Try farm.
Don't forget the camels.
A camel? Where are we going to find a camel?
Try a farm in Egypt?
You're out of line.
It's a public meeting and I'm part of the public.
Well, you're both being rude and disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
You got any questions?
Yeah.
All right, no more questions. We say Hey, thanks for coming out to my first town hall meeting as your mayor. And don't forget to vote for me in the next election.
Oh, Bobby, that's in 4 years.
You children are very disrespectful.
Thank you, Miss Rogers. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
You two are going to get us kicked out of this town.
Good. A Christmas pageant.
I'm not going to be in it.
Well, I can direct it. Annie can be Mary, and Lee can be a shepherd or something if he can get a nose out of a book long enough.
What is he reading?
One of his father's medical textbooks. You know, he wants to be a doctor.
Well, you have a piano lesson, Shirley. We need to get going.
I want to be Mary, and I want Lee to be Joseph.
I thought you didn't want to be in the Christmas pageant.
I changed my mind.
Okay, well, I will help you direct. But again, I am not taking any guff from those hooligans. I don't want to.
I'm sure you won't have to be. Come on, let's go home.
Come on, Einstein.
Look, a complex fracture. I learned how to set it. First, you pull on the bone, and then it pops.
Stop it.
So I get to the store this morning.
Yep.
The back window is broke out. And it looks like somebody reached in to open the door on the door handle and cut themselves because there's blood all over the floor.
Well, it sounds like it served him right.
Well, did he take anything?
Yeah, he took something. He took a couple of cans of beans, a couple of loaves of bread, some blankets. I bet it's that fellow who's been wandering around town, sneaking into the hen houses, taking the eggs, and going by the dairies and stealing milk.
These is hard times for a lot of people.
Well, they may be hard times, but they don't need to be stealing from my store and breaking things.
You know, Charlie Crumley had a young guy favorite walk up to the house, knock on the door. He mumbled something, and Charlie told him to get lost.
If this town had a proper food kitchen, hungry people could get something to eat.
If we did something like that, we'd attract every hobo and tramp in the whole state. We got enough trouble with those people living down by the mill.
Hey, why aren't you in school, Alice?
Mama needs help at the cafe. Besides, it's raining.
We never let any rain get in the way of our going to school.
Part of the ceiling fell on my desk and ruined my homework.
Oh.
Well, why don't you move your desk?
All the other dry spots in the classroom are taken.
You're going to have a brand new school real soon.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Hey, your mama got any more than grits?
We've had 3 servings already.
You know, kids these days have it lucky.
Yeah, they
How
sure.
are they lucky? We're in the middle of an economy depression.
Yeah, we had it rough, didn't we, Earl?
We sure did, but we had something these kids today just don't have.
A completely unrealistic view of reality?
Well, we didn't have much, but we did have
old-fashioned values.
We didn't have electricity.
We had it rough.
subject, how are things coming along in the preparations for the Christmas pageant?
Well, I've asked a lot of the farmers if we could borrow their animals, and so far, no go.
Well, how many farmers did you ask?
Quite a few. Quite a few.
Yeah.
2.
6? 7?
Maybe not that many.
No.
5? 4?
Not that many.
So who did you ask?
Well, I asked Sammy Simpson, and he gave it an absolute no.
Now, Sammy Simpson is your brother-in-law, and he quit farming when the Depression hit. He doesn't have any farm animals.
Well, he made it perfectly clear that if he did have animals, he wouldn't be loaning them to us for this pageant. Well, he did say we could borrow Old Rusty.
Old Rusty?
Old Rusty? His dog?
Yeah, his dog. He said we could dress Rusty up like a sheep or a cow, and he wouldn't mind it. Well, except if you saw a squirrel.
I see. So you really didn't ask any other farmers, did you?
Look, I run the mercantile.
Yeah.
I barely keep my head above water. I can't go asking my customers if I can borrow their animals. He can't. Well, how many have you gotten?
Well, I talked to Bud Harmon, and he said we could borrow old Dinky.
Dinky?
Yeah, Dinky is donkey. He's kind of a attack donkey. He bites people. And only Bud Harmon can get close to him.
So we have Dinky the donkey and Old Rusty the dog.
Well,
it's a start.
Mama said she done ate all the grapes.
Oh.
Well, some of the children were telling the other children that the lead roles were already taken, and they didn't think it was fair that the same children always get the lead parts.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never mind. Let's see who shows up.
Hi, Tommy. Are you here to sign up for the Christmas pageant?
My mama said I have to, so I want to be Joseph.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid the role of Joseph is already taken.
But I'm the first one here. I want to be Joseph.
Well, Lee is going to be Joseph.
Lee doesn't want to be Joseph.
Well, he's going to be Joseph.
Then what can I be?
I don't know. How about a shepherd or a wise man?
This thing's rigged. I quit. It's rigged.
He is certainly rude.
Hi, Maggie. How's your mother?
She's fine, but I want to be Mary or I'm not going to be in it.
How about if you're an angel?
Mary.
Angel.
Mary.
Do you know who my husband is?
Some big shot at the mill.
Yes, and he has something to say about what goes on around here.
Well, my daddy is a federal judge. He has a lot to say about who goes to prison around here.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I'm just saying Mary or the slammer. Your daddy works at the post office. Well, she don't know that.
Maybe we should let some other children have a chance to be Joseph and Mary.
Don't be silly. Alice, how about if you're the angel of the Lord?
I want to be Mary.
Shirley is going to be Mary.
Of course she is. She gets everything she wants. She's the lead in the class play. She's the class president. She's the Girl Scouts troop leader. She gets everything she wants.
That may be a bit of an exaggeration.
No, it's not. She's spoiled and she's rude.
You know this is Shirley's mother.
Oh, I guess I'll be the angel of the Lord. I wanted to be Mary, but I guess I'm the angel of the Lord.
It could have been worse. You could have been the serpent in the garden of Eve.
If I was the serpent and Shirley was Eve, I wouldn't bother with the apple. I'd just bite her.
Too bad there's not a serpent in the Christmas story.
Oh, the role of Joseph is taken.
I don't want to be Joseph, especially if that girl is going to be married.
What would you like to be?
A shepherd, or a wise man, or something. I don't care.
So Shirley will be Mary, and Lee will be Joseph, and Annie will be whatever's left.
I don't want to be Joseph.
You have to be Joseph.
But I don't want to be Joseph.
Well, I'll put you down as Joseph.
I'll be a shepherd, a wise man, or the innkeeper, or a camel. I'd make a great camel.
I'm not going to be married.
I'll be Joseph.
Be quiet, Tommy.
Shirley can be the innkeeper's wife. She can clean the rooms, make the beds, and take out the garbage.
I bet she doesn't know anything about cleaning and taking out garbage and stuff. She's probably never taken out garbage in her life.
Okay, I've had enough. Shirley is Mary, Lee is Joseph, Alice is the angel of the Lord, and the rest of you are shepherds, innkeepers, whatever. Is that clear?
What about wise men?
I'll be wise man.
Me too.
We'll all be wise men.
You can't be wise men. The wise men were men.
Then we'll be wise women.
There's no such thing as wise women.
Excuse me. There are plenty of wise women. There are more wise women than wise men.
There weren't any wise women mentioned in the Christmas story.
Just because they weren't mentioned doesn't mean they weren't there.
Then we can have the women riding the camels and giving gifts to the babies.
They'll probably pick out better gifts than Frankenstein or Mirth.
Okay, I've had enough. You deal with this. Come on.
I know she's my best friend, but sometimes I really don't like her.
What'd you say?
Never mind. Okay. We'll meet here next Friday at 7 o'clock at the church. We'll have costumes laid out. Pick one out, put it down. Then we'll go across the street to the courthouse steps and line up beside the manger. And if you know anyone else who would like to be in the pageant, we have plenty of costumes.
What happens if I get there early and pick out Joseph?
Then somebody might get hurt.
I'd like to see that.
Me
too.
I was just reading about blunt force trauma.
I really wish some of the Milltown kids had come.
Can you blame them? Listen, I just want to say, well, it'd mean a whole lot to my mama if y'all come to the Christmas pageant.
Why would we want to do anything for your mama?
Yeah, go hang out with the other rich kids.
Rich kids? We're not rich kids.
You're sure not poor kids.
And you treat us like something the cat tried to eat.
I've never treated anyone that way.
I guess you're not as bad as some of the others.
What's with your shadow there?
My shadow? Oh, that's my brother, Lee. We're twins.
Oh, I know. We're in the same class. Me and the mill kids sit in the back, and you two sit in the front.
Of course I know you. Your name's Fred.
It's Franklin.
Sorry. Look, I really want you to be in the Christmas pageant. And lead us too, don't you, Lee?
What?
Never mind. Please think about it.
I'll be in a Christmas pageant. Can I be Mary? Can I be Mary?
You can't have two Marys.
But there are two Marys in the Bible.
But they weren't the same person.
No, we're not the same person. Well, I could be married for the first half of the story, and then Bessie can be married for the second half.
Why would you even want to be in it? It's for them, not for us.
Your brother's got a real nice coat. How about this? I get your brother's coat, and I'll be in the Christmas pageant.
What are you doing?
Giving away your coat?
But it's cold out here.
Nice!
What am I supposed to do?
Put on the coat. It's freezing out here.
It smells really funny.
Give me your coat and I'll be in that Christmas thing.
Well, I don't know.
It hasn't been washed in a while. Like ever.
Can I be Mary?
That will be up to the directors.
What about us? What do we get?
Angels, shepherds, wise men.
I mean, what stuff do we get? Coats? Shoes?
How about gloves? And a hat. Also a scarf.
I really like that hat,
You have another hat.
but I don't like it.
What about me? What do I get?
We don't have anything left.
About his coat.
It's Franklin's coat.
Not anymore.
Doesn't have to be my coat.
Okay, now you'll all be in the Christmas pageant. We'll meet next Friday in the church basement at 7 o'clock, across from the courthouse.
What if we can't make it?
And you'll have to give back the coat. You think you can take it from me? I can take it from you.
How?
I'll turn you inside out, hang you by your fingernails, set your toes on fire, and then I'll really hurt you.
Maybe you'll see us there. Maybe not.
And if I don't, I'll come and get you. I know where to find you.
She's funny. And probably dangerous.
Who's that?
Some lady.
She's probably lost.
Oh, hello. Can you help me? My car has a flat tire. Maybe there's a mechanic in town? Maybe a gas station? How about a mercantile store? Excuse me, I'm trying to get to Zachary.
You made it, lady. This is Zachary.
Well, my car has a flat tire.
We heard you. What's that fancy thing you got?
It's a camera.
Can I see it?
What kind of camera is it?
It's a Nikon Zeiss made in Germany.
I bet this thing's worth a lot of money. Should I keep it?
And if you kept it, what would you do with it?
Sell it?
And who do you think you'd sell it to?
Anyone who'd buy it.
And who do you think would buy it?
Nobody around here.
I think you better give me back the camera and make another plan for your future.
His future? His future's working in the mill.
Is that your school there in the distance?
Yes, ma'am. It's about to fall in.
Would you like to take a picture of it? All right. Hold still. Put your finger right there. Hold it. And press down. Good job.
Would you take our picture?
Why would you want a picture of us?
I don't know.
Maybe I'll take your picture if you help me with my flat tire.
Sure, I never had my picture took before.
Wonderful.
So, where's our picture?
Well, I have to take the film back to my darkroom and develop it.
So you really didn't take our picture?
No, I did. I'll mail it to you in a couple of weeks.
Don't bother. Show her the monkey towels, Franklin. Maybe that mean old man will fix her tire.
The law says I can't go within 500 feet of that place. Delbert can show where it is.
The law says I can't go within 500 feet of that place neither. Jolene can show her where it is.
Nope, that old man's crazy.
I'll show her where it is. The man that owns it is kind of grouchy. He won't let me in the door.
Why?
He's afraid I'll steal something.
That's not very nice.
Well, he's got a point.
What is up with your coat?
What's wrong with my coat?
Well, it smells funny, and it looks like something you pulled out of the garbage. Didn't you have a red coat?
Not anymore. Would you get your nose out of that book and look where you're going?
What?
What are you reading about now, Lee?
Obstructive lung diseases.
Sounds interesting.
Lots of workers in textile mills get them because they breathe in so much cotton dust.
Let's talk about something else.
It's starting to rain. Let's wait here until it stops. I cannot wait to get away from this place.
Do you still plan on going away to college?
As soon as possible.
Where?
As far away as possible.
What about Lee?
What about him?
He's your twin. Will he go with you?
Probably not. He wants to be a doctor, like our dad. He'll probably go to the state university.
We've always been together. Me, and you, and Lee. We have the same birthday. It's next week, you know.
I know.
I'd hoped that we'd always be together. The three of us. Like the Three Musketeers.
You don't want to hang around here the rest of your life, do you?
I don't know. I guess I want to go to college somewhere. Not too far away.
You can go to that fancy girls' school in Virginia, the one your mother went to.
You could go there too.
I wouldn't last a week. I want to go to a school in New York City.
They have schools there?
Yeah, Columbia University. Except they don't take girls. Barnard does. It's close to Columbia.
How do you know about these places?
It's my hobby. We read medical textbooks, and I read about places that I can live besides here. It doesn't matter. We can never afford it.
But you know what you want? I wish I knew what I wanted.
This stinky town is driving me bananas. The people here are really so absurd. They think we're living in the 1890s. When I speak, they never hear a word. How can they be so backward when it's 1939? Instead of being grateful, all they do is whine.
I don't know why life has to be confusing. It's simply that you take what you can get. It all works best when living in the present, and the past is something to forget.
I don't know why she has to be so selfish. She has more than anybody else in town.
I don't know why she has to be so clueless and worried about putting people down.
How can she be so selfish when it's 1939? Instead of being grateful, all she does is whine.
not raining so hard. Let's go before those creepy mill kids come along.
You know, she's my best friend, but sometimes I don't like her very much.
Me either.
You know, she's always had a crush on you.
I can't help if she has good taste.
Oh my goodness. Really? Why did I have to come down here? Why?
I was not going to drive in this horrible weather. What were you going to be doing anyway?
Well, you two, you know, you could have carried this, but I was going to stay at home and listen to the radio. Fibber McGee and Molly is on, and then Nick Cummings was going to play some good old-timey Christmas tunes. You know, anything at all to get my mind off of that mill.
There are more important things than that mill.
Like what?
Like this Christmas pageant. What is this?
It's my Life magazine. I was going to do some reading while you did your pageant thing.
I had it all planned. The children and the animals would stand and look like a nativity scene, and people would walk by and admire them and go home. Now they're going to come in here and expect something.
Like what?
You know, like Bible stories and Christmas carols, entertainment.
I'm sure people will be happy with a live nativity scene.
Got 2 calves and a donkey. Where are you doing?
Oh, no, you didn't cancel the animals?
No one told me to cancel the animals.
What are we going to do?
We can put them in the choir loft.
Are you trying to be funny, Glenn?
Don't worry, Jessica. It'll be fine. I hope. Leave the animals outside. People coming in can pet them.
Well, they better not pet Dinky. He bites. The donkey.
Mom, there's a man out there with a bunch of sheep. He wants to know where you want them.
They came all the way from Haywood County.
They can go in the choir loft.
Yeah.
They're kind of smelly, but I don't think anyone would notice.
That's not funny.
Ooh, smelly. What's wrong with your coat?
Annie's coat is smelly too.
Those aren't the coats we bought for you.
We've been wearing these for a week, haven't you noticed?
I've been a little distracted.
I tried to talk some of these kids at school into coming.
There's this tough kid named Franklin. Annie threatened to turn him inside out, says toes on fire, hanging by his fingernails, and then really hurt him. She also gave him my coat.
Please don't let them show up.
Why don't you all go find and go down to the fellowship hall and help kids find costumes?
Does this Pringles will say we have to have animals in the pageant? Or how about near the pageant?
Well, they could go in the choir loft.
Oh, stop it!
Hey, this lady was out there talking about taking pictures of the pageants. I think she's from the Citizen Times. I told her it'd be okay. Good publicity for the town. Yeah. Hey, maybe we could get some animals in here for a photograph?
Photographs are great, but no animals in the church.
You know, this is not going to be much of a Christmas pageant without some Christmas carols or something.
How about some cookies and eggnog.
There you go.
Oh, some turkey, cranberry sauce, and grits.
You know, Glenn and me used to sing this song, Christmas song, back in the old days.
Yeah, we three kings.
But there's only two of you.
Well,
yeah.
Larry Langsdorff was the third king.
Poor Larry.
So this Larry Langsdorff is no longer with us?
Well, no. Well, he is up for parole in 2 years.
That's right. He'll be back.
We can do two of the kings.
Right, that'll be all right. Yeah.
Sorrow wonders, sorrow night, guide us to thy perfect light. Born the King on Bethlehem plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Frankincense to offer am I, incense to be high. Prayer, praise, and all men raise, worship Him all the This is Larry's
Poor old Larry. I don't know.
sorrow night, guide us to thy perfect light.
Those mill kids showed up and they're about to start a fight.
Bring them in here.
Annie's mother said to get in here right now.
Move!
Oh, sorry.
I made some punch and fruitcake for the pageant. Where would you like it?
How about in the fellowship hall?
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. It's out in my car, next to some sheep.
Well, why don't you bring it in?
Oh, I was nice enough to make it. Someone else can bring it in.
Well, look who gets to be married. It figures. It's always about her.
Aren't we supposed to have animals?
Not in church. We can be the animals at the stable. I want to be an animal.
What kind of animal?
A bear. Bears are scary. I want to be an eagle.
I'll be a reindeer.
There weren't any bears or eagles or reindeer in the Christmas story.
I'd still like to be a camel.
We have the animals outside.
You're not Joseph.
Yes, I am.
Lee is supposed to be Joseph.
Lee gave me 20 cents to be Joseph. So, Mary, how was the donkey ride to Bethlehem?
Mama!
She's not here. Let him be Joseph.
Yeah, Shirley, let me be Joseph.
No!
We need a new Mary.
I'll be Mary.
I would be careful. She's a biter.
Never mind, I'll be a wise one.
I'll be Joseph. If she bites me, I'll yank her teeth out.
That's no way to talk to a child.
She ain't a human child, ma'am. I know because she's my sister.
That woman's fruitcake must have weighed 50 pounds. Who's that?
I'm married.
Shirley's supposed to be married.
She's over there with you and just having a temper tantrum.
I will not be married.
But Shirley's supposed to be Mary and Lee is supposed to be Joseph.
Jessica, I heard that Phoebe Rogers is making her famous fruitcake, also known as brick cake, for the pageant. And so I thought I'd make some Christmas cookies to kind of even things out.
That's very kind of you, Mrs. Phillips.
I do need some help getting them inside. I'm parked by some calves.
Oh.
How about you then? Can you help her out?
Oh, no. Bad back injury.
Oh, ladies.
You know, I'm familiar with her cookies. The only thing worse than carrying them is eating them.
The sheep are running all up and down the street. The man out there that brought them said somebody better get out there and help round them up.
Oh, you're dressed like a shepherd.
Let Bessie be Mary. She never gets to do anything.
I never get to do anything either.
Let Bessie be Mary. I'll shave your head bald. Again.
Okay.
Okay, so that woman's Christmas cookies weighed more than the fruitcake. And there are sheep running all over the place out there. It's crazy. Shirley's supposed to be Mary and Leah's supposed to be Joseph.
I don't want to be Joseph.
I give up.
I do.
You got it, cowboy.
Hey, we can use a little help with the sheep out here.
Okay.
Stay here.
I think Jolene should be Mary. She's older than me.
Okay.
Are we all settled on Mary and Joseph?
I'm kind of scared of Mary. Anyone else want to be Joseph?
No thanks.
Okay. Jimmy is Joseph, and what was your name?
Jolene.
Jolene is Mary. No more switching parts. Does anyone know a Christmas song?
I
No, you don't.
All right. Mrs. McClendon and I could sing something we sang as children at church. Do you remember? You used to sing soprano, I sang alto.
I don't think so.
Would you rather go out in the rain and chase sheep?
We saw this vagrant fella kind of snooping around out there.
I wonder if it's a criminal that's been breaking into houses and stores.
We tried to talk to him, but he took off.
And Earl's real mad about him breaking into the mercantile store.
Well, aren't you gonna help Earl?
No.
No, man. I'm gonna be a shepherd.
I'm gonna be a wise man.
How dare you insult my fruitcake? Why, that's my grandmother's original recipe.
Well, I think it looks like your grandmother's original fruitcake.
Why don't you come and choose costumes and join the cast?
I know a Christmas song.
I made it up myself.
They're just going to laugh at you.
I'm sure it's a lovely song. They won't laugh at you. Will you?
No, ma'am.
For coming out to our very first Christmas pageant. It was quite a pleasant surprise, especially that little girl singing. We got from freshmen down in the fellowship hall. Phoebe Rogers brought her famous fruitcake. And Dr. Williams, our local dentist, is on standby in case anybody tries to eat it. I hear all the sheep have been rounded up, so nobody has to worry about tripping over a wet sheep. I think we should sing Silent Night, because we all know the words, and it's my favorite Christmas song.
And Shirley should sing the second verse, since she didn't get to be married.
Silent night, holy night, all is home, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night.
Stop! Stop! Wait! You thief! Stop! I think it's a fellow who's been sneaking around town, getting into hen houses, taking eggs and milk from the dairy.
He doesn't look well.
Hey, that's the fellow, yeah, we've been seeing around town.
Well, you need to get the sheriff. He needs to get arrested.
I think he has a fever. Lee, call your father.
He needs to go to jail.
He needs to go to the hospital.
What about my solo?
Your solo? Your solo. That boy is hurt, and you're worried about singing the solo? Why do you have to be so selfish?
You know, you look kind of familiar. Do I know you? Let's take a look at that arm. There's infection here. Let me have a listen real quick. I think you may have pneumonia. Lee, can you give me a hand? We need to have a chat.
Who's that?
Bill. Is Billy your brother?
Billy? My dad's a doctor. He's gonna take good care of your brother. I promise. What's your brother's name? Where are you from? How old are you? Goodness, you're so thin. I bet you're hungry.
He can stay with us. We don't have much, but our mamas had to take good care of kids.
That's very kind of you, Jolene.
Our mama takes better care of kids than their mama.
Does not.
Does
not.
Well, I reckon they could use some new clothes, and I'll have some sent over from the mercantile. And Glenn, you can pay for them.
What? I think not. Okay, I'll pay for them.
We'll take Billy home with us for now. Dr. Johnson can make sure he's okay. The rest of you can go downstairs to the fellowship hall for punch and cookies.
What do you want for Christmas?
I want to never see those horrible people again.
We were kind of hoping for something we could wrap up, you know, put it in a box, wrap it up, make it real pretty.
They ruined the whole Christmas play. I didn't get to be merry or sing a solo. And that boy with the bloody arm and his little brother, they were so dirty and disgusting. And the Johnsons took the little boy home. What's wrong with people?
We have a visitor.
Oh.
Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Get your chair.
Yes, please. Thank you. Wonderful. Well, that was quite the Christmas pageant we had.
It was awful.
So, how is the boy and the arm?
He's stable now.
Does anybody even know where they came from?
Once we got him stable, I was able to get some information from him, and it helped connect some dots for me I was curious about. See, several years ago, I was returning from the hospital back to my house. When I got there, I found a small boy on our doorstep. He was all out of breath from running, and he was shivering. He was so cold and tiny. And then he kept pointing at me in my car, and I got the sense that he wanted me to help somebody. So I went in the house and got a blanket and wrapped him up. And then we got in my car and we drove through town, through the mill village, out into the country, and up a rocky road, until it narrowed so much the car wouldn't even fit. So we got out and walked. Finally, we found a small one-room cabin. And inside it was a midwife I knew from the hospital, as well as a mother who had just given birth.
It had been a difficult delivery. The baby was premature, weak, jaundiced. I was concerned that perhaps it was too late. So the midwife and I agreed that I would take the baby to the hospital to provide the best care that we could. A week later, I found my way back to the cabin. When I went inside, the mother, the family, no one was there. No one knew where they went, not even the midwife.
Are you telling us this just so we'll feel sorry for those people?
No, Shirley. The little boy on my doorstep was Lester Strayler. That's the young man that Earl chased into the church tonight. And the baby, Shirley, was you.
You know, we told you when you were young that we adopted you, and we would tell you your whole story whenever you were ready. But it seems like we never talked about it because you didn't want to say anything or hear anything. But we think now you should know the whole story.
Your birth family were laid off at the mill, and so they moved to a new town and found work at another mill. And then they were laid off again. And this continued until they found their way to Georgia. And they were laid off once again. Now Lester was old enough to work in the mill and he was laid off. And there was another baby, Billy. They knew that they had an uncle here in town, and so they hopped the train because the parents were sick to find work and shelter here. But when Lester and Billy arrived, their uncle had moved out of town. And they remembered me, so we moved after the twins were born.
Why don't they ask for help?
They did. But every time they approached people, they were either ignored or just chased away. They had nothing, and so they had to break into people's houses, onto people's farms to steal milk and eggs, and ultimately into Earl's shop. And that's when Lester cut his arm.
You know, we can help you look for them whenever you're ready, that is.
Do you have relatives?
Well, Esther was my best friend, and they had started a family. We found out that we couldn't have children, and we were heartbroken. Dr. Johnson came to our house with this beautiful baby girl, because you had been healthy enough on Christmas Day to come out of the hospital. I thought he was coming to show off one of the twins. Then he hands you to me. This beautiful baby girl. I thought he was crazy. We weren't ready for a baby. We didn't have clothes. We didn't have a bed. And then he told us about the cabin and the little boy.
Shirley, some people in town know that you're adopted, and others don't. Nobody knows the connection with the Straylers. The only people who know the full story are the people in this room, Esther, and the judge who signed your adoption papers. Not even Annie knows the full story. This is your story to tell, if and when you want to tell it.
We wanted to give you a good home and keep you safe. I was always so afraid that the Straylers still had relatives in town and someone would think you were familiar. And they would know the story about the baby girl in the cabin.
So do you want to go look for them? Shirley, wait. Where are you going?
Shirley, come in. Annie and Lee are still up.
I'm sorry I snapped at you, Shirley. I hope you're still my best friend. I have a gift for you under the tree.
It's not that.
We're having oatmeal cookies and hot cocoa. Shirley, are you all right?
I'm here to take my little brother home.
What? What little brother?
Billy.
Your little brother?
I'll explain later.
I was teaching him how to play checkers.
You can still teach him how to play checkers.
So your family's going to, like, give him a place to stay?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Did I miss something?
Shirley, are you okay?
You asked what I wanted for Christmas?
Yeah?
I want my little brother to live with us.
You don't know this child.
He's my little brother. And when Lester's out of the hospital, he's going to stay here too. He's not going to work in the mill.
But he might have habits, and he may not have the skills.
He took care of Billy. It seems to me he has plenty of skills. And he's my brother.
Still got this darn depression going. Another war is brewing in Europe. You know, Gladys, you got about the least to say about anybody around here. In fact, Sheriff Ford bet me 50 cents I couldn't get you to say 5 words in a row. Now, what do you have to say to that?
I guess you lose.
Bills. Got some architects wanting to bid on the new Peggy Parker Pringle Public School. Bills. Ah, Life magazine. Holy cow, Gladys, get in here.
Life magazine?
Oh, look at the cover, Gladys.
The cover of Life magazine featured a photograph of a Christmas pageant with the caption, "A Milltown Christmas." There was a brief article about a Christmas celebration in the small southern town of Zachary. The photo was taken by Marion Post Wolcott, one of the photographers hired by the Farm Security Administration to travel the country and photograph life during the troubled years of the 1930s. The lady with the flat tire was one of the most famous photographers in the country. Her photos appeared in the pages of Life magazine, Look magazine, and the Saturday Evening Post. Over 9,000 of her photographs are filed in the Library of Congress and are included in collections of the Metropolitan Museum of the Arts, the Chicago Art Institute, and the Smithsonian Institution. Want to thank you, the audience, for being here, but we also want to thank one for whom this wouldn't happen if he didn't put in the hard work, Mr. Burton Bumgarner. He wants to join us here. Burton not only writes these plays, he writes the music, and he has to deal with this motley crew up here. So because of all your hard work, we know you like Chardonnay, so we got to a really nice bottle, but I'm afraid that the adult cast got parched. We hope that you treasure the bottle for years to come.
Thank you. He got this out of my recycle bin.
There were so many choices.
All Chardonnay. Thank you very much.